back to some maths. We've got multiplication, so we're going to use our formal written method, which is our grid method. So, really important, we look at how many digits are in each number. So here we've got 1, and then this number's got 2. So we have one line across for the 5, and then 2 lines down for the 23. Our question is 5 times, the 2 is a 20, so we put a 20 and then 3. You might want to draw your grid bigger, it really does depend. As long as you've got enough space and the numbers aren't squashed together, you'll be fine. So we've got 5 times 20, which is 100, or we could just do 5 times 2, which is 10. But then because it's got that extra 0, it does need to get 10 times bigger. So obviously 10 times 10 is our 100, and our 100 comes from there either way. Then we've got 5 times 3, which is 15. And then we need to add them together, so we're going to use our column addition. Really try and make sure your work's spaced out nice and neatly, and that's going to avoid any unnecessary errors. We've got 5, 1, and then another 1, so our answer is 115. Over here, now we've got two digit numbers. I'm going to work down here just so I'm spacing my work out as well. So I'm going to have 2 lines going across and 2 lines going down. So that might be for the 13, might be for the 14. Because of that commutative law, we can swap them around as long as we keep the 13 together and we keep the 14 together. We can't have the 3 and the 4 and the 10s together. So we're going to put our 10 and our 3 and our 10 and our 4 and our times. And the question still reads the same. It's 13 times 14. So there's 13 times 14. So that's kind of your double check. 10 times 10 is 100. Then in this box it wants 3 times 10, which is 30. And if digits can have their own boxes, I will try and give them their own boxes. 4 times 10 is 40. And then our final box is 3 times 4, which is 12. Now, unlike the last question, I've got 4 numbers to add together. 100, 40, 30 and 12, and you can see I've made sure that all my 1s are in the same column, all my 10s are in the same column, and all my 100s are in the same column. All 0s apart from the 2, so our answer is 2. 3 and 4 is 7, add 1 is 8, and I've got 100. I could put a load of placeholders in, but I know there's nothing there, so our answer is 182, and I do go and answer the question. That's always really important. And then finally, very similar in terms of we've got two digit numbers again, but the numbers are slightly bigger, so therefore we can expect the answer to be a bit bigger. But the layout therefore will be the same because of those two digit numbers. Of course, you can use a ruler to make sure your grid looks really neat. So I'm going to split up that 22 into 20 and 2, and the 54 into 50 and 4. So I've got 20 times 50, but I'm going to just think of it as 2 times 5 to start with, which is 10. But then it's a 20 and it's a 50. So it needs to get 10 times bigger for the 20, and then another 10 times bigger for the 50. Then we've got 2 times 5, which is 10. But then it's not 5, it's a 50, so we make it 10 times bigger, which is 100. And of course we know 2 50s to be 100. 2 times 4, or 4 times 2, remember that commutative law, is 8. And we're going to put our 0 on because it's got 10 times bigger. So it's 4 lots of 20. 20, 40, 60, 80. And then finally 2 times 4, which is 8. And we're going to lay it out again using our column addition. So I've got my 1000. I might even tick them off as I go to make sure I don't make any mistakes. I've got 100, I've got 80 and 8. Draw my 2 lines, and we practiced this the other day. In the 1s I should have 8, in the 10s 8 again, And this has actually been really nice to add up, because really there's zeros apart from those digits. So my answer is 1188, and we knew that was going to be a bigger answer because the starting numbers were bigger. So it's really important that you only draw as many lines for your grid as digits. So here it was 1 digit by 2 digits, so therefore we had 1 across and 2 down. You could have had 2 across and 1 down, it doesn't matter. Because of that commutative law, you can multiply those either way round. And then when we've got what we've been practicing more so, those 2 by 2 digit numbers, the grids will always look like that. It'll always almost look like a noughts and crosses grid. So, pause the video and have a practice of those questions. Did you get them right? Let's mark your answers. 280. 210. And then a really big answer, 1392. So, create your own questions using your own numbers. Start maybe with 2 digits by 2 digit, or if you're unsure, go to 1 digit by 2 digit. And if you really want to advance your maths, you can start to look at 3 digit numbers, but just think about how your grid is going to change.